Jesus cares, he understands. From the Feast of Mary's Sorrows, we move on today to the compassionate Jesus. Quite often, we do not like to think of Jesus as an emotional being because for us, he is God who is above all feelings, but reading through the Bible shows that this is not really the case. There were moments Jesus shed tears, there were moments Jesus was angry, there were moments Jesus fell in love with different persons, there were moments Jesus was touched by people's display of faith, there were moments Jesus felt pity and showed the depths of his compassion. Jesus was fully human, and to this day, Jesus understands the plight of the human condition perfectly. As we read in today's Gospel passage from Luke 7:11-17, Jesus journeyed to a city called Nain, and his disciples and a large crowd accompanied him. As he drew near to the gate of the city, a man who had died was being carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. A large crowd from the city was with her. When the Lord saw her, he was moved with pity for her and said to her, "Do not weep." He stepped forward and touched the coffin. At this the bearers halted, and he said, "Young man, I tell you, arise." The dead man sat up and began to speak, and Jesus gave him to his mother. Jesus, being the only child of Mary himself, knew what the widow of Nain was going through when her only hope was being carried for burial. This was one miracle Jesus worked without demanding faith from either the woman or the dead boy. The woman did not even make a statement to Jesus. She did not know who Jesus was, neither did she have time to beg him for a miracle. She herself had no hope of her son ever coming back to life. I want you to see what happens here. She got answers to her prayers even without praying. When Jesus handed the boy to his mother, Jesus was indirectly replaying his own story, that is, how he too would die and his mother would weep, but later on, be handed over to her again in the resurrection. This story tells us something about the compassion of Jesus. Jesus cares, he understands what you are going through. Jesus feels your pain. He knows what you need even before you open your mouth to pray. He sees your tears. His are not too small that he cannot see, and he knows what is best for you. The compassion of Jesus for us, his children, arises from the fact that there is an intricate bond that connects us all together. We are one. All of us, all humans all over the world. We are all creatures of one God, descendants of Adam. We are carry the life breath of God, which transformed the piece of clay into a living being. All women too, from the ribs taken from Adam's side, which explains the origin of love between male and female. We are all brothers and sisters, and by entering into our human family at the Incarnation, Jesus is also one of us. This is why he can feel our pain. He knows when we are hungry, sad or depressed even before we pray. Because we are one, St. Paul says in the first reading, there is no reason for us to boast or see ourselves superior to one another. As members of one body, no one is more important than the other. We cannot all be gifted in the same way, neither can we all do the same functions. Just as no part of the body can claim superiority over another, we must never look down on anybody. We must never consider anyone as unimportant. This poor widow had no business with Jesus, and he could have decided to let her go with her son, without committing any crime. After all, he already had the crowd he needed following him. But he did not see it that way. He felt for this woman, because he knew he was connected to her, and he decided to help her with his gift of healing. Dear friend, what is your gift? How are you helping others with it? Do you push people aside as unimportant to you simply because they do not speak your language or because you have nothing to gain from them? Do you sometimes try to put yourself in the shoes of other people so as to feel their pain like Jesus did? I tell you a secret. The key to happiness is to help others find happiness. If you understand this secret, then like Jesus, you will be compassionate and you will help make our world a better place to live in. Good morning. Be happy. Live positive. Have faith. It is well with you.